Hello everyone and welcome to this new video. Today, for the Halloween special. Today we talk about Horror Sans, as it is in theme with the day. I made a post a few days ago, asking who the strongest member of the Murder Time trio was, and I noticed that Horror got the least votes of all, which is sad. People really have a bad idea about him, and you understand very little about the character, so let's see who Horror Sans really is. Let's start by talking a little about Horrortail. Horrortail is an AU that starts after a neutral run by Frisk. Undyne takes Asgore's place and becomes Queen of the Underground, feeling more and more hatred towards humanity. At some point, however, the core loses power, which causes starvation to begin underground. Sans proposes an idea to resolve the situation, which is to destroy the core and rebuild it from scratch, while Alfie suggests that Undyne steal Sans' eye to power the core. Of the two proposals in the end, Alphys' is accepted by Undyne, who forcibly removes Sans' eye. Sans then returns to Snowdin, and explains that the Queen has declared that all must eat human flesh for nourishment. Years later, a little girl named Eliza falls into the underground, and is helped by Flowey on her path to surviving under the surface. She is actually the main character of the story, not Sans. With that said, let's start scaling. First of all, Sans is very physically strong, unlike his canon counterpart. In fact, in one scene he manages to tear Eliza's arm off, effortlessly, breaking even her bone, with just an arm. But Sans is no longer capable of knocking people back, nor of summoning blue bones, as he has lost his eye, but on the other hand he still manages to disappear into thin air. With his eyes though, he had some extra ability Classic did not have, like throwing back other magic attacks. His bones, on the other hand, are much better. In addition to being bloody, Sans manages to use them better and more. In terms of power, they are also very advanced, enough to create large barriers, as he does many times in the plot, or even destroy very big objects. Sans in fact destroys the core during the story, making his strength with at least large building level abilities. But considering the core size city block level is far more likely. He also has a range of several meters, much wider than his classic counterpart, so much so that bones appear in Toriel's house while Sans is outside it. While we're at it, let's talk about some other statistics. Horror, despite what many people believe, is damn intelligent, much more than Classic. He has very broad core knowledge, knows how to do very elaborate calculations, and is the only one who had come to an idea about what to do. On the other hand, after his eye was removed from his skull, he lost some of his sanity, and is generally less cunning. Then of course there's that thing that all horror fans talk about. Yes, Horror is immortal until his eye is destroyed, although there are a couple of things unclear about this power. It is not known how durable the eye is, what kind of immortality it gives, or whether it is truly immortality. From what was shown in the comic, however, it appears so. However, regarding speed, Horror doesn't have any interesting feats to show, so it should be at the classic level in speed. So, is Horror really as weak as people think? No, hell no. No. Hell no. The results reported in my surveys are disrespectful. I still have to analyze Killer properly, but speaking to people who have scaled him, Horror would destroy it. Let's stop underestimating him. Having said that, let's talk about some misconceptions about the dear Horror. Number 1. Horror is not evil, nor a killer. Almost no one in Horrortail is. Most people have lost their sanity due to starvation, and Sans is no exception. Sans is definitely violent, and he kills humans on occasion, but he doesn't show monsters, and not for pleasure or anything. He's definitely not a good person, but he's far from what the fandom believes. Number 2. Horror doesn't use an axe. He doesn't have one. Or rather, he has one, but it's made of bones, and he has literally never used it in the entire comic. He has a machete, which is used, but he doesn't carry it around all the time as he is usually depicted. As I said, Horror is not a killer, he doesn't need weapons. The machete actually only appeared in a couple of brief scenes in the comics over 200 pages. Number 3. Horror does not eat humans. Although he started that habit in Snowdin, he has always refused to eat human flesh, to the point that he didn't eat for 7 whole years. The point of the character is precisely that he doesn't want to eat humans, but hunger sometimes takes over. Despite this, he has never touched human flesh. Number 4. Horror eye is not red because his blue eye was taken away, but because he put in his skull the eye of a guard. Having said this, I thank everyone for their attention, and I send you my regards. Until next time. Go read Horror Tale. It is really good. Happy Halloween to all of you.